Good evening, welcome all of you. This evening we are going to discuss on three times God laughed at Sankar. That is the topic of discussion taken from Thoughts and Aphorisms. It is on aphorism number 306. Beautiful, that is a great aphorism, of course. We are going to discuss why, Shankar, the great Advaitavadi. So here Sri Aurobindo quotes in his aphorism three times God laughed at Shankar. So what is the reason and what is the occasion and what is the circumstance? That's what we are to know. Of course, all are in plural because you know three times. So conditions, circumstances, and of course the criteria for which actually God laughed thrice towards Shankaracharya. That is has to be discussed right now. Sri Aurobindo has interestingly quoted in his aphorism first three times God laughed at Shankar. First, when he returned to burn the corpse of his mother. You know, he is a great saint, Indian religion. Indian religious sect respect him like anything. Even now, after his long departure, you can find Shankaracharya Matha throughout. So this is the why then three times God laughed at Shankar. Sri Aurobindo quotes number one when he returned to burn the corpse of his mother. Number one. Number two, again when he commented on Isha Upanishad, that is a great thing. When he commented on Isha Upanishad, and the third time when he stormed into about India preaching in action. So you know this is a great, really great time and great discussion. We'll see. And later, while about some questions, Mother also clarified on 27th January 1970. It was a great day. Of course, we know that time also we can feel why really it would have happened. This is, you know, so many, in many ways. He is the most, one of the most intelligent, and he was feeling like this. But why then he followed the tradition? Number one. Again, why he tried to write something that meaningless words? Third, we can find when he was in actually going for the this self this thing, he was going for this pravachana and all, and why this self analysis, atikarma tatparata, and why this followed this this upapath. So seeing all these things, God would have smiled thrice towards him. These are the things we know. He had moved, migrated from, actually pilgrimed from place to place throughout the world throughout India, and of course it was his his actually adventure, world adventure, India adventure type, one of the type of the Indian adventure. So these are the three mistakes we feel. Sri Aurobindo quotes for these three follies, maybe God would have loved thrice towards some great Advaitavadi Shankar. So three times God laughed at Shankar. First when he returned to burn the corpse of his mother. Second, again when he commented on Isha Upanishad. Isha Upanishad, he tried to write actually that tikas of the Isha Upanishad. Third time when he preached on inaction, Naiskarmya. So this analysis and this propaganda and of course this proliferation, maybe for these three God would have laughed for him. Anyway, we will go forward, a little bit forward, and we'll see. Work as if the ideal had to be fulfilled swiftly and in thy lifetime. So now, see, this is already we have taken so many parts. This is one of them, and we will take many. Maybe no, only God knows how many are there. How we have to move forward. For this thing, we must be very much conscious that everything should be done within the lifetime. Here in the course here, work as if the ideal has to be fulfilled swiftly and in thy lifetime. Persevere as if thou knowest that it is not to be unless purchased by the thousand years yet of labor. So it is a very lifetime is very brief, but the thing is that you have to do it very smartly and very swiftly. That which thou darest not expect till the fifth millennium may blossom over with tomorrow's dawning, and that which thou hopest and lostest after now maybe may have been fixed for thee in thy thousandth event. You don't know how many times it will take, how long it will go, but thing is that try to get it in this lifetime. Of course, this is very much interesting and very much thing it has to be taken care of. So naturally it is a big message. No, you have to work as if everything has to be completed swiftly in this lifetime, because you try without rest, so that which needs really a thousand of years. This needs a great labor, of course. It has to be fulfilled. Maybe within 5,000 years also, may not be completed. Still, then tomorrow morning, early in the morning, by the next dawn, it may be possible. So, what you want to, you hope to do, what you expect to be done, naturally it has to be done, and for which actually you have got the big aspiration and big expectation. So you try to complete up in this birth only. That is what Sri Aurobindo expects, and Sri Aurobindo comments very interestingly. And Sri Aurobindo quotes, that which thou darest not expect till fifth millennium, 5,000 years even, may bloom out with tomorrow's dawning, and that which we hoped and lostest after now, we have been fixed for thee in thy 100th advent. It is possible. You try and try to complete with this generation. Nobody knows when the next birth will be there, how long it will take, and there also it needs there may be some distortion and deflection. So try to completely in this birth. Against Europe in the courts, each man of us has a million lives yet to fulfill upon earth. Very interesting, very much assuring. Understood in the course, each of us has a million lives yet to fulfill upon earth. Why then this haste and the clamor and the impatience? Why hast this haste? Why then this haste and clamor and impatience? Thing is that each one has a million year lives yet to fulfill upon earth. Again, stride swiftly, for the goal is far. You don't know how long you have to go and where your destiny is fixed and where really the goal is. Stride swiftly, for the goal is far. Rest not unduly. Unnecessary we rest and we sleep on. If not only rest, we sleep entirely. So for thy master is waiting for thee at the end of thy journey. So you have to be swift. You have to move without rest, and we have to rest. You have to strive swiftly, because the master is waiting for thee at the end of the journey. So against during the course in 314, I am weary of the childish impatience which cries and blasphemes and denies the ideal before the golden mountains can't be reached in our little day or in a few momentary centuries, because that's what we normally take. It is not possible. It will take long time. It needs like anything. So Sri Aurobindo quotes, I am weary of the childish impatience. That's what Sri Aurobindo quotes. That phrase you can know, childish impatience which cries and blasphemes and denies. The three words here in the has used three great words, cries and blasphemes and denies the ideal because the golden mountains can't be reached. Golden mountains, which is the goal really, can't be reached in our life, in our little day or in a few momentary centuries. Again, during the course, fix thy soul without desire upon the end. Very interesting. Same thing, goal for which we are moving really, that perfection, transformation, and of course, life divine. That for which really we are pursuing the integral yogas here in the course. Fix thy soul, not your mind, life, and body. Fix thy soul without desire upon the end. Insist on it by the divine force within thee. So with the divine force within thee, that is soul or psychic being. So then shall the end itself create its means. Then shall the, if you can rely upon the divine spark, the divine force within thee, then what will happen? Then the end itself create its means. End itself will create its means. Nay, it shall become its own means. It has to take care of. It will be not the, it is not the end, it will be the means, and it has to take care of all these things. For the end is Brahman and already accomplished. For the end is Brahman, that's what, and that is already accomplished. See it always as a Brahman. See it always in the soul as already accomplished. That's what. So great thing. At the end of this aphorism, Sri Aurobindo tries to assure us about the certitude. Sri Aurobindo quotes here, for the end is Brahman and already accomplished. See always as the Brahmans and see it always thy soul is ready, already accomplished. Thy soul has already accomplished because soul is the spark of the absolute. Anyway, we are going to the next one. Plan not with the intellect, because you know intellect is born of intelligence, of the ignorance. I am sorry. Intellect is born of the ignorance. Here in the quotes here, and it is a big advice and a big suggestion, big guideline. Plan not with the intellect, but let thy divine sight arrange thy plans for thee. Let thy divine sight arrange the plans for thee. When a means comes to thee as a thing to be done, when a means come to thee as a thing to be done, make that thy aim. That's what you make thy aim. As for the end, this is the aim. As for the end, it is in the world accomplishing itself and in thy soul already accomplished. Again, continuously, Sri Aurobindo quoting that it is thy soul already accomplished. In thy soul already it is accomplished previously as already accomplished in thy soul. So here I'll try to explain it a little bit, read it again, quote it again rather. So plan not with intellect, but let thy divine sight arrange thy plans for thee. You should not do anything, let the divine sight plan for thee. When a means comes to thee, when a means come to thee as a thing to be done, make that thy aim. As for the end, it is really in the inward accomplishing itself, and in thy soul that is already accomplished. So again, we'll go forward to the aphorism number 317. Men see events as unaccomplished. Man sees events as unaccomplished, to be striven and effected. To be striven for and effected, men see events unaccomplished, to be striven for and to be effected. This is the false thing in the course. Normally, people go this way. They see events as unaccomplished, not accomplished. Second, to be striven for. Third, and effected. This is a false thing. Events are not effected, they develop. That's what's here in the course. They are not effected, they develop. The event is Brahman. Already again and again it has been quoted and explained here in the course. The event is Brahman, already accomplished from up in the from up old. It is now manifesting. Already accomplished. It is now it is manifesting. Again we are going for the next aphorism here in our own words with single word. We are going on 318. We are seeing. As the light of the star reaches the earth hundreds of years after the star has ceased to exist. This is another good format of reading. As the light of a star reaches the earth, light of a star reaches the earth hundreds of years after the star is ceased to exist. So, the event already accomplished in Brahma at the beginning of the manifest itself now in our material existence. This has been already accomplished already, but the thing is that to our vision it is coming, it is taking some time, but as the star already ceased, but its ray is coming right now like this. So the event already accomplished in Brahma at the beginning of manifestation manifest itself now in the material experience. So it is taking time, nothing to worry about it, because something done in the upper hemisphere, it is coming and manifesting because it is already happened. Sri Aurobindo told India is already got its independence. So it is coming under 1913 or 1914 like this, 13 probably. So, and it came to into existence, and the manifestation took place in 1947 only. So it takes time, but in the upper hemisphere, in the upper consciousness, it has already happened. Manifestation needs some time. Again, government, societies, kings, police, judges, institutions, churches, laws, customs, armies are temporary necessities imposed on us for the groups of for a few groups of centuries because God has concealed His face from us. These are not necessary. We are under the direct rule of the divine. Everything is under his guidance, everything is there, but thing is that God is concealing his face from us. That's what we find all these things like governments, societies, kings, police, judges, institutions, churches, laws, customs, armies of are temporary necessities. Temporary necessities imposed upon us for a few groups of centuries. It has been few groups of centuries, it is imposed upon us because God has concealed his face from us. When it appears to us again in its truth and the beauty, then in that light they will vanish, because God is hiding his face from us when once he is coming to the fore. Once he is coming to the fore, then actually these unnecessary things that we think the present necessity, they will vanish, they will disappear, they will go, they have don't have the any meaning at all. Against here in the course, the anarchic is the or is the true divine state of man in the end as in the beginning. So Sri in the course here beautifully. The anarchic is the true divine state in man in the end as in the beginning, but in between it was in the beginning and same way in the end, but the in between it would lead the straight to the devil and his kingdom. So this is the in between, some sort of deviation we can find. So I will try to quote it again. The anarchic is the true divine state of man, true divine state of man in the end as in the beginning, but in between it would lead us straight to the devil and his kingdom. So this is a great thing, a great experience, and of course a great deviating sentence, because really it is happening. because we are having some fluctuating characteristic, and most of the time is we find. Then we can find here, here in the course here, the communistic people principle of the society is intrinsically as superior to the individualistic as is brotherhood to jealousy and material slaughter. That's what's there in the having a common comparison in his explanation. The communistic principle of society is intrinsically as superior to the individualistic as is brotherhood to the jealous and material slaughter. But thing is that all is practical schemes of the in socialism invented in Europe as are a yoke, a tyranny, and a prison. Of course, that's what here in the wants to quote here. So naturalist Aurobindo tries to quote here, the communistic principle of society is intrinsically superior to the individualistic, as is brotherhood is to jealousy and mutual slaughter. So there is a good comparison. Communistic principle in of society is superior to the individualistic as is brotherhood to the jealousy and the mutual slaughter. So two ways there is a good comparison. But all is the practical schemes of the socialism. Practical schemes of socialism invented in Europe are a yoke. So comparison, while we are taking the comparing it with the practical scheme of socialism that is invented in Europe, that is a yoke, a tyranny, and a prison. So here we must escape this principle. That is a great discussion between great comparison between communist principle versus and its superiority over individualistic and the brotherhood to jealousy and mutual slaughter. Then again, the second term, steer in the course and explains the practical schemes of the socialism invented in Europe. It has got its lacuna, it has got its yoke on society. So they are actually are a yoke, tyranny, and a prison. Definitely, it has to be taken care of. It is a beautiful one. We have discussed so many ways. We started from Sankar, then we have come to the divine soul, psychic, divine light we have seen. Then we have found the system of the government, that imposition of law, rules, regulation. In many ways we have often sketched here. And the thing is that Sri Aurobindo has quoted, time is short, we have to fulfill everything in this year, and we have to stride forward because master is waiting over us. This is a great discussion, and we have covered a couple of aphorisms here. Naturally, it is worth enjoying. Bande Matram.